What's up, YouTube? It's the Console Samurai from Grown Ups Gaming, and digital downloading games has become a very popular event. Regardless of whether you're console or PC, whatever, it has become a very, very popular thing. And to be honest, in some ways, I'm worried about the future of gaming as far as digital downloads as far as they're concerned, because when you think about it, it does make sense. It is incredibly convenient. You go ahead, you pre-order the game, and in many cases, the games download ahead of time. Days before the release, they won't unlock until midnight, but they do download ahead of time. So you don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. You don't have to go wait in line at the store and bring it home, and then you got to put the disc in and let it install, and it's such a long process. But you don't have to worry about that because it's already installed on your system. Absolutely convenient. And in some cases, you even get an extra digital bonus. I get a background, or I get a special in-game item, something like that, for going through the PlayStation Store, the Xbox Store, Steam, EA's Origin. Oh wait, EA's Origin's not going to work. And very recently, EA's Origin service, for those of you who don't know, that's a lot like Steam, but EA exclusive, has been experiencing some extreme issues. What these issues are is that recently purchased games are unable to be downloaded, installed, or in many cases even run. So, and they're not really giving us a specification of how recent we're talking. It's just, oh yeah, no, that game is new. It doesn't work anymore. Because they're not giving us an answer as to what happened, when they're going to fix it, or really what games are affected by this. So, to a lot of people, EA's Origin is completely dead, and it is a digital distribution and play client, a lot like Steam. But the problem with that is that it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how much you've spent on the game if the game doesn't work. The more you spend on the game, obviously, the more pissed you're going to be about this. But it's not people. It is more convenient to get it through EA's Origin. But when you have an issue like this, that's a problem. That's a big problem. And Steam has had some similar problems. Some of you may remember, if you've been watching my channel for a while, Far Cry 4 on the Xbox One had a very similar problem. Last week I reported that the PT demo for Silent Hill's playable trailer was pulled off the server. So anyone who didn't have it already, which there were a lot of people who didn't have it because they sold their PS4s to pretty much make a good profit, and then when they tried to re-download it on their new PS4, they couldn't get it. Yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense because that game's been canceled, so I kind of understand pulling that one off the server. But that's what happens when you pull a game off the server. The game can't be downloaded anymore, regardless of whether you bought it or not. The game can't. It's gone, and with all the money people spent on PS3 games and Xbox 360 games, and even Wii games, all the games from last generation, what happens when these consoles get discontinued? Truly discontinued. I'm not talking about, oh, we've got the new generation out. I mean, what happens when the servers for Xbox 360 go down, or PS3, or Wii? And it becomes a problem because we've seen that this can cause an issue with the playing of the games, especially if something happens to these consoles, because these games can't be you can't get them back. If you're in the middle of moving to a new place and you drop your PS3 and it doesn't boot back up, now you need to get a new PS3, but you can't go get these games. You can't re-download them. That's a bit of a problem. And I know there are PC people out there going, well, yeah, you should just do PC. PC has the same issues, and it is, PC actually has just as many problems, if not a little bit more, because beloved Steam's terms of service is that they can pull a game at any moment from their digital servers with no notice, no refund, and you don't even get to complain. It's just, look, we pulled it, shut up. That's it. And I don't mean to sound like I'm attacking Steam, because I'm not. It's the whole concept of digital distribution. It to me causes I see that it's going to cause a problem because while yes, I said in a previous video, yes, I do prefer to buy games physically rather than digitally just because I feel more secure. Well, this is one of the reasons why I feel more secure because when my PS3, when the servers go down, all the PS3 games that I've downloaded or that I've purchased and many that I've already downloaded probably are going to be dead. They're not going to be playable. Same with Xbox 360. Um, and you know what? Next generation, same with the PS4 and the Xbox One. Because when these consoles hit the end of their lifespan, when they've hit the end of their life, they are going to cause problems with all these digital download games. They're not, the games are not going to be compatible with next generation. You know, they're not going to take your PS3 games and put them on PS4. We've already seen that. There's no reason to think they're going to put PS4 games on the PS5. But at least if you still have the hardware and you have the physical copy, it may still work. It may not. With the always-on requirement that we're seeing now, it may be nothing more than coasters. All the PS4 games, all the Xbox One games, all the PS3 and Xbox 360 games, they could be nothing more than coasters. We don't know, and that is, to be honest, a very scary thought to me. Because I mean, I know I've spent a lot of money. I know that there are people who've spent a hell of a lot more than me on games for these consoles. And as I said, it's not just consoles. It is PC because the games you purchase from Steam can be pulled at any moment. And based on what we've seen through EA's Origin, it's entirely possible that when a game gets pulled from Steam, it's not going to work. You know, even if you've got it installed, you know, you could play it for 2 or 3 years, and then all of a sudden, oops, Steam goes down. Your game is dead. And you know, people who've spent tons of money on these games, they're out. And that is a, you know, honestly, that's a scary thought because it's not even like we can preserve these games in any way legally because ESA is going around saying, well, we can't preserve these games because, well, we would need to change the way that a game works for it to still be playable after the server goes down, and well, that's the same thing as hacking, so we can't do that. So what's going to happen when the PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii are gone? They're no longer supported. The games are gone. Servers are shut down. What's going to happen? Are those games going to be lost to the ether, never to be able to be played again? You know? And I don't know. But you know what? Honestly, there's nothing we can do about it. I don't short of getting the ESA to agree to allow us to preserve this game history. But this isn't this video is not about the ESA. This one is about digital gaming or digital downloads, and you know, I honestly do think that this is going to be a problem, is that it's becoming such a common thing. And yes, I do tend to get physical copies when possible, but not every game is available in physical. You know, some games that don't expect to sell as many, they're digital only, or maybe a smaller studio that doesn't really have the capital to push out DVDs to every GameStop, Walmart, Best Buy, and Target. You know, there's some actually really good games that have come out digital only that, you know, we might lose, and that's a scary thought. But you know what? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. What do you think about digital downloads? I mean, do you think that it's perfectly okay, even in light of everything we've seen? Or do you think that it may be a very bad thing in the long run for gaming as a whole? But either way, tell me what you think. Once again, I am the Console Samurai, and I'll see you around.